hello, all you Progress Professional Wrestling fans. Yes, it is Shawn and David from Radio Free Professional Wrestling, and we're back again. We're doing a preview to Super Strong Style 16, their 2-day tournament to crown the next challenger for the Progress World title. David, how you doing? This is going to be a fun weekend of professional wrestling and an easy hopping on point for people who don't know what Progress Wrestling is. This is where you need to start.
Yeah, good afternoon, morning, evening, depending on when you're listening to it. Greetings from a very, very sunny Cambridgeshire here in the UK. And yeah, it's a bank holiday weekend in the UK. It takes place, the late May bank holiday, over a Sunday and a Monday. And it is normally, traditionally, one of Progress's best shows. And the lineup for the actual 16th tournament leads me to believe that this year will be no exception, Sean.
I agree with you, David. This year's card has a lot of international talent in it. And I feel like there's a lot of interesting possibilities as you advance forward over the 2-day tournament to see who is in the final of Super Strong Style 16. I got a feeling where I want to go with my pick. I don't know about you, David. We'll get onto that later in the show. As of the recording of this podcast, we do not have the actual brackets, but we have all 8 first round matches. So we can break it down to you and give you the insider tips as you try to pick who wins Super Strong Style 16. And Progress is running a prize pool. If you're able to successfully pick the winner of Super Strong Style 16, they're giving away a title belt. And we'll have all the information linked below in the show notes. David, I know we can win it, and especially me, because my history of picking anything is bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, Ashley's done you again recently, hasn't she?
Let's just say I have a better chance of winning than maybe, what do you want to say? Maybe Leicester City actually going up, maybe, or maybe how about Hero advancing to the next round, maybe? Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's it. Kick the man when he's down. Kick a man when he's down, Sean. I don't know. No, it's a really, really good card. I would say it's probably the best that they've had for a long while for this. There are some criticisms I've got, which it wouldn't be me if I didn't. But they're only minor ones. I'm looking forward to this. I really, really am.
Okay, so without further ado, let's start with one of the 8 matches in the first round. And I'm going to select, let's go here. So, match number 1 we're going to talk about is Mike Santana versus Connor Mills. This is a very interesting matchup and one of the UK talents versus the international talents in this tournament. Mike Santana, who you would know from AEW and before that TNA/Impact Wrestling. He has just recently left AEW, going back to the independent scene, making a name for himself in TNA as his home base in the States, now spreading out internationally. I feel like this is going to be a hard hitting match. And David, I want to say I'm taking Mike Santana for the victory here.
Right. The thing is with the imports with Progress, it depends if they've got them all weekend, what they normally do. Now, I don't want to be a party pooper here, but traditionally, what Progress do with international stars is have them come in for the weekend, conveniently lie down after a sterling showing for the British talent, and then go in a tag match on the Sunday on the second day. So it depends if they're sticking, shall we say, with that tradition or not, Sean. In theory, as good as Connor Mills is, and make no mistake, if you've never seen or heard of Connor Mills, he's well worth a watch. Very good young British talent. It's a no-brainer of who wins this. It should be Santana all day long. However, it does depend on his availability and his booking, because in theory, the winner of this tournament gets a shot at the world, as you said in your intro, at the world heavyweight title at a later date. It's almost like Money in the Bank, if you will. And I can't see Santana doing that. So I have a gut feeling, and I'm going to say this again later on, whether he should win or not. I have a feeling Connor Mills goes over, and they shake hands or have the respect angle at the end. It will be interesting to see if Santana's used as a heel or not, because Connor Mills is a complete babyface over here in the UK.
Well, it would be a very big feather in the cap of Connor Mills for this victory here, as you're predicting in the first round of the Progress Super Strong Style 16 tournament. I could get on board with that. That would be a cool idea. So let's move on to our second matchup in the first round. And David, this match coming up is one I'm gonna go out and get me a mouth guard and put it in because I'm gonna be feeling this from America. It's Luke Jacobs versus Mike D. And if this is the hardest hitting match in the first round, I don't know what is.
It's got potential for that. Now, I know I've got two potential winners here. Two guys that both head and heart says should win this tournament. And Luke Jacobs is one of them. I love Luke Jacobs. I love everything he stands for. He is strong style. He is the strong style of Progress, but obviously they've given him an appropriate opponent in Mike D. I see Luke Jacobs winning this, but I think this will be, as you said, this will be a case of get the nappy rash cream out, because you're going to want to cover yourself in it afterwards to make yourself feel better.
David, I'm backing you here. I feel like Luke Jacobs is going to at least advance one round here in the tournament, and this is going to be the hardest hitting match, like I said. And he advances to face whoever he gets in the second round. And like you said, he is one of my two favorites to run the gauntlet of the tournament over 2 days.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, we're moving on to the third matchup of the week. And it's going to be Man Like Doris versus Angela Black.
Yeah, and someone I'm not overly familiar with, but Man Like Doris wins this because he's a Progress favourite, and I can't see him not winning it. I can't see him not going over. With all just due respect, I'm looking forward to seeing what Ingle Blank offers, because it's a new one on me, and it's not often me and you say that. So open mind and all that, but Man Like Doris wins.
Okay, so hear me out, David. Man Like Doris is my dark horse to win the tournament. I said I had two people that I was thinking in my mind get carried today here. Man Like Doris is my third option. He's like the one I feel like could make the run. It makes sense. Why not give this guy a little bit of momentum going into the summer and the fall in Progress Wrestling? I mean, this dude is highly entertaining.
Knowing Progress booking, he's the sort of geezer that they will put it on. He is the sort of he's been in Progress a long while. He doesn't have ever particularly have a bad match. He's over. The chant Doris is on fire. You've got everything going for you. It's the sort of person that Progress would give this tournament to. He's not in my top two, but yeah, he's a good dark horse. You're absolutely bang on, Sean.
Especially if you're trying to make your picks for this Progress pick contest, I would at least advance Man Like Doris one round.
Yeah. Agreed.
Okay,
I could see him being a finalist. I could see him being a finalist.
Yeah, I can see him in the finals. And if you don't get him past the quarterfinals, you are crazy. I would say right now, you just need to toss your bracket to the side and go find something else to do. We are moving on to our next matchup. And I got to say, we're probably both going to pick the same person here, David. It's everybody's favorite YouTuber / professional wrestler, Simon Miller, versus Ricky Knight Jr. David, this is the toughest
favorite YouTuber, is he, Sean?
I'm being politically correct here. I'm being nice right now to Simon Miller. I'm giving him a slight thumbs up.
Right. I'm a victim of my own whinging with Simon Miller, because I did not want to see Simon Miller doing the ring announcing, doing the because he was awful. And he's also bigger than most of the wrestlers. So it looked embarrassing. So I got what I wanted. Simon Miller no longer does the ring announcing in Progress. They give it to that idiot Jerry Bakewell, who's even worse. And I'd sooner have Simon back doing the ring announcing than I would Bakewell. Anyway, fortunately, he's up against Ricky Knight Jr., who's just dropped the Atlas title. He dropped the Atlas title in the WrestleMania show that they did out in America. Bizarrely, I couldn't get my head around that booking. Ricky Knight has to go over here. Has to. Miller is awful. He is absolutely awful at everything he does within the wrestling world. And he shouldn't even... he just shouldn't be allowed near wrestling. He really, really shouldn't. I can't stomach the guy. And that's not heat. That's just, you're not very good at anything you do. Get the hell off when I'm being polite here. You know me very well. I'm bottling the swear jar up. I just don't want to see him. But I love Ricky Knight Jr. And he's my second tip alongside Luke Jacobs. Either if Ricky Knight Jr. or Luke Jacobs win it, I will be a happy bear in 2 weeks' time.
Well, what I was going to say before you went on your diatribe about Simon Miller was this is possibly the second hardest draw Simon Miller could have got in this tournament. And the only thing that could have made this worse if he would have got Tate Mayfair by some odd chance, if you put Tate Mayfair versus Simon Miller again, because we know his history with Tate Mayfair, not a very successful one for Simon Miller. But hi, here's Ricky Knight Jr. And like you said, David, I'm investing in him at least to the semifinals.
Yeah. I mean, that Simon Miller, that's not a kayfabe whinge about me. That's a shoot. He's not very good. He's not very good at anything. He was awful as a presenter on Wrestle Talk. He was awful as an announcer, and he can't wrestle. I just can't stomach the guy in any way, shape, or form. Sorry. Genuinely sorry if you're a fan of him.
Okay, so we're going on to another first round match here. And David, this is probably your least favorite match of the whole tournament, as we have G Money versus Kid Lykos 2. David, I know I know, David, you want this to be a draw and nobody advances here, but you got to pick somebody.
Yeah, no. If I've got to pick someone, I know your rules, Mr. Burkhead, and I will abide by them. I'll pick Lykos 2, and I just don't care.
It's interesting. It's interesting you pick Kid Lykos 2 because there's an interesting story to tell here. Because last year during Super Strong Style 16, it was Kid Lykos who ran the gauntlet. Why not have his tag team partner do the same thing? And at the end of this 2-day tournament, I could possibly see Kid Lykos 2 holding the opportunity at the Progress World Championship. And the person holding that title may still be his tag team partner. Dun, dun, dun.
It's very good booking, very thoughtful booking. And for once, I can't argue with you. Put some thought into that, and it's logical. I just hope you're wrong, because I can't stand either of them. It's like a matchstick versus I don't even want to go into describing Jane, because again, he makes me want to watch Simon Miller. That's the only thing I can say.
Okay, I understand David completely here. Let's move on to a match I feel like you're going to want to watch, as this is going to be Eddie freaking Dennis versus TK Cooper. And we're going to learn after this first round matchup if TK Cooper has a future as a single talent, because he's going into the deep water because it's Eddie freaking Dennis.
Well, TK Cooper's had a wee period as a singles wrestler in Progress, and it was very successful. This will be possibly one of the matches of the first round. I'm very biased here because I know Eddie Dennis, and I've met him on numerous occasions. And he's a top fella, whatever character he's playing, whatever he's doing well, and he's had no luck with injuries. His story is well told here in the UK about how he used to be the headmaster of a Welsh school, a very successful headmaster of a very successful Welsh school, but his love of wrestling, every weekend he went away and did shows, but he was only known to people like myself and yourself who are really deep delvers into the world of wrestling. I met him numerous times in Peterborough, my home city, where he performed. In fact, he nearly missed his match because me and him were sat having a conversation about Ring of Honor. That's one of my claim to fame. So I want Eddie Dennis to advance. This will be a very good match. TK Cooper is an excellent singles record, is an excellent singles wrestler, excuse me. And I think this is going to be used as the start of the breakup of Sunshine Machine with the booking and the lead up to this match. I think it could be the favorite, one of the Progress favorite babyface tag teams splitting up, and whether it means a heel turn for Cooper, who is an excellent heel, by the way, I don't know. But I would take my heart and head wants Eddie Dennis to win this, but no, this will be a great match. TK Cooper's an excellent performer. Looking forward to this one.
So, David, my question for you is Eddie Dennis your number one choice to win the whole freaking tournament?
No. That would be Luke Jacobs because it's sensible. The only reason I say that with Eddie is because of his injury, him being injury prone, the luck he's had with it. I mean, it would be a real lovely story for him to eventually go on and win it from whoever because of what happened to him last time. He won the title and then literally the following show through injury had to give the belt up and was not seen again for months while he rehabbed. And he deserves it. He's a good talent. He's a really good character. He was a great heel, even though he'll be a baby face in this match. He's a great heel. But no, I'm looking logically, and Eddie Dennis won't win the tournament, but I want him to go through this round.
Okay, so if I was chatting with somebody working their brackets for this contest for Progress, I would say you can take Eddie Dennis to the semifinals, and somehow, some way, he'll lose in the semifinals.
Yeah. I mean, to either Luke or Ricky would make sense because again, they would be great semifinals.
Okay, we are moving on to our next matchup here. The next matchup we have to talk about, and I want to say this is our final matchup in the first round of the Super Strong Style 16 tournament. It's Tate Mayfair versus Casey Navarro. Sorry about the pronunciation.
Yeah, Casey Navarro. This should be decent. I could see this opening the card. I could see this opening the tournament. I got a funny idea Tate's going through because of the push and the work that Progress have put into Tate, and they do look after their own talent traditionally. So I'm going to say Tate Mayfair goes forward on this.
Okay, David. My number one pick, if I had to bet my house on this right now, to carry the 2-day tournament and be the person holding the contract at the end of this tournament, you know where I'm going. It's Tate Mayfair. I'm picking Tate Mayfair to win Superstar 16 this year.
Okay, mate. Yeah, I can see that. Everything that you said is logical. I'm going, the two I've picked are a mixture of heart rather than head. Progress, as I've just said, look after their own, and they put a lot of work into Tate Mayfair's. They put a lot of, time, wins, and allowing him to build his character, which is good character. Somewhere a bit of a tweenie because the crowd aren't supposed to like him, but they do because they're a smarky crowd down in Progress. So yeah, I could absolutely see that happening. But I've made my picks and I'll stick to them. But yeah, your logic is sound.
Well, David, I need somebody who's willing to do whatever is necessary to advance round after round after round. Yep. So I'm going with Tate Mayfair. And please, somehow, some way, put him in the same side of the bracket as Simon Miller, and we have Tate Mayfair beat the heck out of Simon Miller yet again.
That could happen, mate. That could happen again. You've got your booking head on. Fair play to you, sir.
David, one final matchup in the first round of the Super Smash 16 tournament is Leon Slater versus Shelton freaking Fisherman. David, I think we've been talking about matches of the first round. This to me is a dream match.
I think it headlines. It's got a headline. This will be about. This will be about a Leon. Now, with concerning results, I think Leon Slater goes over due to my progress booking logic. And then Shelton Benjamin will be, if he's there the weekend, because obviously he's doing a lot of work around indie shows. If he's there on the Monday, they'll chuck him in a tag match just to let him have a little run out and earn some money. But I can't see him going over on Leon Slater because there's no logic to it. He's there to be seen. He puts bums on seats. He'll put in, obviously, a brilliant performance. It's Shelton Benjamin, for heaven's sake. And it will be a great win for Leon Slater to move forward with. And Shelton does the decent thing, the honourable thing, lets Leon go over, but putting on a great match to do it. That is how Progress tend to book, and that is how I foresee that match going. But that could steal the show.
I agree with you, David, because literally this matchup is Shelton Benjamin looking in a mirror at a younger version of himself.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And honestly, I can see a way you can advance Shelton Benjamin at least one round here, and you tell the story that Leon Slater has a good match, has a good showing with Shelton Benjamin, but it's Shelton Benjamin's veteran experience. He takes that one slight opening that Leon Slater doesn't know about, capitalizes on it, and we see Shelton Benjamin at least make it to the second round of this tournament.
You see, with respect, I mean, I can see your point. I can see your logic, but with respect, I don't see it. The Progress don't work like that to me. And I think Leon will go over and they'll use Shelton to the best. They won't make him, they'll keep him strong, but a nice shake hands at the end of it. And Leon, the local talent, because Shelton Benjamin, let's face it, I can't see the point in him going, but you could be right. It'll be interesting to see, and it'll be a hell of a match either way.
Well, David, it's the one match of the first round that I really don't want to miss, and I'm kind of not happy with myself that I didn't take off that Sunday. I will be able to watch day 2 of Superstar 1216 live that Monday, that Memorial Day here in the United States. I am off, so I can get to see the second day. So we get the first round matches all taken care of. We get you so far abreast of the situation as best we can with this contest with Progress Wrestling. I feel like we have left you in a good space where you can finish out your bracket. David, we still got 3 more matches to talk about.
Have we?
Yes. And let's go ahead. Let's get the Atlas Championship out of the way. Because unfortunately for Yoshi, his first title defense here is against Alex freaking Fetcher, the Axe Man.
I
couldn't think of a harder challenge to start this title run off for this young Japanese talent.
I don't know what Yochi's status or contract is, but I can see a title change here, getting it back onto a Progress regular.
I mean, this could possibly be a big feather in the cap of the young Japanese talent, but he's going to have to go through a war to get past the Axe Man.
Yeah, absolutely. The only thing that makes me that might make my opinion vary slightly is that one thing Progress haven't done. It's only a minor criticism. They've never booked the ex-Sanity members well, particularly a big bugbear of mine is Big Damo. Damo should be the Progress World Champion without a shadow of a doubt. He really, really should be and have the belt for a while. But that's just my opinion. It's just the way I see things. So that would make me think that they might keep it on Yoshi, but I can see a title change here.
I feel you, David. This match to me is like a coin flip. I can see the title change. I can also see you keeping the title on Yoshi, just for the simple fact that Progress doesn't like to do hot potato of their titles, which I appreciate.
Yeah, good point. Can't argue with that.
Okay, so let's go on to the women's title match, as it's going to be Rio versus Kanji versus Lizzie Io versus Nia Samuels. I gotta say, David, last chapter, Kenzie came out. She said she want to make this 4-way even more elevated. Let's make it a ladder match. She knows that Rio's in this match, right?
But, I'm not sure about this. Obviously, my opinions of Rio are well documented. She's just one of the best women's wrestlers um, out there now in the world. I like Nina Samuels. Not Lizzie Evo's still got some work to do to prove it to me, as does Kanji, but Rio wins. Simple as. There'll be a couple of spectacular stunts because it's the ladies, and there'll be a couple of big bumps, but Rio wins. Simple. Toilet break match possibly in this show, without being rude or disrespectful.
Well, first of all, I wouldn't want to give Rio weapons. You're giving Rio a weapon and a ladder. I'm sorry. If I want to try to get this title off of her, no thank you. I don't want to be in this ladder match because I would rather face her 1-on-1 or in a fatal 4-way before I decided, let's just toss a ladder into this thing.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, mate. I mean, but there's 4 decent women or 2 decent, really good women, and 2 that have got potential. So I've got hopes for it.
I do too. And I feel like they're going to try to show out because traditionally, Super Strong Style 16 is a tournament that showcases the men talent in Progress Wrestling. Down the road, I wouldn't mind seeing Progress flipping this around and making a women's version of the Super Strong Style 16 tournament.
Yeah, finding 16 women good enough might be a push. They might have a Super Strong Style 8 over one, maybe over one day, and have 4 quarterfinals, 2 semis, and a final, and have a 7-match card. I could see that, and just call it the Super Strong Style Ladies or something, and just have 8 of them. But and the winner gets a shot at Rio, and then gets battered.
Well, challenge accepted, David. When we do our review of this tournament, I will present you my Super Women's Strong Style 16 bracket to you.
With 16?
Yes, I can do it. I bet you I can do this.
I wouldn't doubt you, but okay. I shall wait. I shall wait and wonder.
Yes, you will. And I feel like it's some homework for me to do, so I'll get to it. Okay, so we're down to the main event, the final match of day 1, probably. And we're going to be different opinions on this match because I know how you feel about the 2 talents in this match. It's the Progress World title match. It's Kid Lykos versus Mark Haskins. If you didn't see the last chapter of Progress Wrestling, go back, check out the promo at the end. Mark Haskins has returned to Progress Wrestling, and it's not the Progress Wrestling that he remembers. And he's on a quest. He's on a vendetta to restore Progress Wrestling. On the other hand, Kid Lykos looks at Mark Haskins and goes like, the only reason you're back here is because you couldn't cut it anywhere else in the world.
What do you want me to say? You already know. You've said this is a rhetorical setup for me, Mr. Shawn. Right. Balance, David. Lykos shouldn't be champion. Haskins is a very, very good person to be champion. He's known worldwide. He could represent the company. He is an absolutely fantastic wrestler. He looks like a wrestler. He has a rather, rather hot wife who is his valet. Sorry, Mrs. Haskins, but you are. Remember the documentary where you were just a wife? Look at the post documentary that featured on Haskins before she became his valet worldwide. What do you want me to say? It's like a matchstick versus a man. Lykos shouldn't be champion. He should be anywhere near it. He should not be anywhere near it. Haskins should win. He won't. Lykos will kick the belt, and it's criminal. There you go. And that didn't have foul language in.
I'm quite happy you didn't go down that route, but see, here I am. I'm caught in this corner because we just seen Kid Lykos in the reign of Spike Gervais. And like I said, in the Atlas Championship match, Progress is not known to flip their titles so quickly. So my
Yeah.
feeling is this match somehow ends in a no contest. Mrs. Haskins gets involved, gets caught or something, and we move this down the road to another chapter. But I'm kind of with you, David. This is Kid Lyko's second biggest challenge. It's easy to go after the title. Maintaining the title is a challenge.
Oh boy. I mean, right. We don't do this show kayfabe. We do it as we see it. It's our opinions. And sometimes when you see this, as someone, I'm 59 in September, and I've been watching wrestling for over 50 years of that. And you see a match like this, knowing what you know about Kid Lykos and knowing what you know about Mark Haskins, having watched both of them in the Brits start their careers and be where they are now. And anyone who doesn't book Haskins to win that match is an idiot. However, Haskins won't win this match at the weekend, and he should do. I mentioned Big Damo. You've got two worldwide known wrestlers on your books in Big Damo and Mark Haskins, permanently there. One of them should be the world champion. End of.
David, I kind of agree with you. I can see either gentleman be the world champion for Progress. And honestly, on paper here, Mark Haskins to cut through Kid Lykos like a tank through a Ferrari.
Yep. Yeah, good analogy.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that has been your Progress Super Strong Style 16 preview here on Radio Free Professional Wrestling. Do yourself a favor. If you haven't seen Progress Wrestling yet, go to progressdemand.com, sign up for a subscription. Best $9 you're going to spend American, some hard-hitting professional wrestling. David, thank you for joining me here on Radio Free Professional Wrestling. Until next time, stay stunning.